Tommy School here with www.sporthotpicks.com. Currently, there's only 8 games on the ticket, only 7 left to play as Cleveland and Toronto played to a 5-2 extra inning win by Cleveland. With that being said, now is we have it live right now: Philadelphia and Washington, Orioles and the Yankees, Seattle and Tampa Bay, the Mets and Miami. And then going off here soon is going to be the Angels with the Rangers, Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. And then later on this evening is going to be San Fran against Arizona, which we could talk about that one here in a little bit. Anyway, some live betting action right now. Bottom of the first inning, the Miami Marlins, who haven't scored a run what seems like forever and got swept by the Yankees, and the Yankees didn't even score over 5 runs in the course of that, score 4 runs in the first inning. The Mets already scored 2 in the top of the second. Great live betting opportunity right here with the Mets with a much better team, much better bullpen, and a chance to really get a good number on the Mets if you believe that they are going to come back and win this. However, if you don't think that they're going to come back all the way and win it itself, you can get a run line on them of the Mets plus 1.5. Right now, you can get the Mets plus 1.5. So the better team with more than 80% of the game to go, the Mets plus 1.5 on FanDuel. You can get that at, trying to pull it up here. My computer's being super slow because I got all the games going on. And I'll have that here for you in just a second. What was I saying? So, okay, it's not catching my location, so it keeps blocking me out here. Anyway, that's part of the live that we're dealing with as the Marlins send out their pitching coach here to deal with Lorazzo. And they locked it on here. So sorry about that. But anyway, 4-2, runners at first and second, 2 outs. You could get the Mets plus 1.5 or minus 156, or you could get them at a plus 140 straight up. Great opportunity there because the Mets came in almost minus a 200 until the Marlins put up those 4 runs in the first inning. So if you believe that the Mets have a better bullpen and are a better team overall, and the Marlins are going to continue to struggle in scoring runs, then this is a great opportunity for you to get in on a live bet right here. And as you can see over my shoulder, you got the Yankees and Orioles game. And then I'm going to show you my third screen here, which is going to show that I've got multiple games going on there as well, and that's part of why you might see a little bit of jigginess and everything else like that. If you are listening in on our podcast, I got the MLB ticket. I'm running 4 screens on my computer. I have 3 different monitors here that I work off of. You can't see that through our podcast, but if you're following us on Restream through our YouTube or Facebook channel, you could see us going rocking and rolling right there with those. Strike 1 there as the Mets are trying to come back here and make this a good opportunity for them to come back and cover those spreads as we talked about before on FanDuel. Again, you could get the Mets plus 1.5 at minus 158, or you can get them at a plus 172. So he must get out here. The streams are always slower than the live action. And there you go. Struck him out, and that's why it goes up to plus 172. But you've got to believe that the Mets are going to continue to come back. They've already forced this young starter into many pitches back in the second. And the Marlins bullpen struggling just a little bit here as we go through this. Anyway, that's one of them that is a huge chance for you. You got some other games going on with the Phillies and the Nationals. The 4th there with the Phillies starting to show some threat. And now it looks like the Tampa Bay Rays with runners at first and third are going to have a chance with Seattle, which is a game that I picked and put on our card. With Seattle plus 1.5, you got them at a minus at the time, a minus 108 at a plus 1.5. Now you could actually get a money line at a plus 1.5 at minus 215 or a minus 102, as there's nobody out runners on first and third for Seattle. The reason why we did put it out there as a first five for Seattle is we think that the Rays coming off of a huge weekend and not showing much there, that they're going to come back and really have a hard time. And Seattle, they have been very profitable for teams throughout the course of the year, continuing to win and cover as underdogs and that sort of stuff. Needless to say, Yankees just went down as hit a 2-run home run by one of the Orioles. I don't know if you can still see that on the screen or if you're just seeing my shared screen there. Got the game over my shoulder, and now you can see my shared screen. All right, there. This is the 3 screens that I work on. It's a little glitchy. It's using a ton of data. But like I said, great opportunity, 4-2. Seattle runners now, they're up 1-0. It's Seattle. Huge opportunity there. If you're able to click it just in that second that we were talking. Now Seattle Mariners they were a minus 102 on the money line with runners on first and third. Now they are on the lock position. We're waiting for that to come up as Crawford crosses the plate there to give the Mariners a 1-0 lead. So if you got any questions, go ahead and type them there in the chat box. I'm going to get into it right now and start to pay attention to that a little bit for you. If you got anything to say, just put it there in the chat box, and I will be able to see it and reply to it and answer any questions that you all might have. All right. Philadelphia with 1 out, runners on first and second. Marlins as they're coming out here. First pitch strike, he gets ahead right away. Again, the line through FanDuel is Seattle still hasn't come out, but you can get the Mets plus 164 straight up to win, or plus 1.5 at a minus 140. Yankees, this just goes to show you how bad the Orioles are. The Yankees are still a minus 140, and the Orioles are a plus 120. As the Orioles are up 2-0 as that goes into the bottom of the third inning in that game there. And I could actually pull it up. I was waiting for this Texas and LA game to get going, but we'll just pull that in until that gets going, and then we'll just take that one out. This is how we watch the games all the time. We're always paying attention to them. We're paying attention to every single pitch, every single run, and we are constantly working these different things. Like I said, I work off of 3 monitors here. So today, because there's only 8 games, I just got it working off of this single one in a 4-pod set, and then I'll have the Yankees game over shoulder, as you see right there. So now now Seattle is a minus 230 and Tampa Bay is a plus 180 on the money line. Minus 122 and minus 1.5 runs for Seattle. Plus 1.5, minus 104 for Tampa Bay. Also, still get the New York Mets at a plus 158 and a 142 plus 1.5 runs. Or the Marlins at a minus 205 right there. Okay, again, Yankees, even though they're down 2-0, they're a minus 138. Orioles are a plus 110. And if the Orioles are minus 1.5, they're a plus 164. Yankees plus 1.5 is a 215. Definitely no value there, as Seager just drove in another run for Seattle as they're now up 2-0. And that was a money line pick that we had in our paid picks. So hopefully you jumped all over that and were able to make money with us on those picks. Again, if you got any questions, just drop them there in the chat. We're so happy to have you all along here with us, following live as we present to you these different games and everything like that, just so that you can see it. I'm going to turn it off here and get back to our full screen of just me with the Yankees in the background. All right, so who was just a beast for the Yankees this last weekend, driving in runs, playing great defense up at the plate. You've got the pitcher for the Marlins that is up there in a 1-2 count, so he goes down looking strike 3. There's 2 outs there, so great chance to still jump on that Mets money line before it changes much. Just after that strikeout, the Mets have dropped to a 150 from a 170 when they first came up, over 11.5. Phillies and the Nationals, neither team really got into any sort of buying in the trade deadline, so both considered dead teams for the rest of the season. Over under on that game is 5, and it's in the 4th inning. Yankees over under is 9 now. That's down actually a run from earlier where it was at 10 and 10.5 some places. Mets still plus 152 here as he's working ahead and getting right back into it. He has thrown 43 pitches in the 2nd inning, so he's going to have a pretty short lifespan there. Is going to be McGill. Ball's hit to center field. That's a base hit. Not able to get out there is Baez. Welcome to him to the New York Mets. Really brought some life into it. And when Lindor comes back, they're talking Baez going over to shortstop, which could be really interesting for that club. So right now, if you were to bet, say, $50 on the Mets to win, you would get paid out $76 in winning. So pretty good odds there, as it's still a plus 152 for the Mets to come out and win that game. All right, so let's see what else here that we can talk about as the Marlins. I mean, live betting changes pitch by pitch, and you have got to be active and really paying attention, have a number set in your head, and that sort of stuff. I don't know why anybody would ever lay a minus 184. I mean, minus 160 and above in live action is not good money. Unless you're much later in a game and you think that the better team is going to hold on, you could do it that way. A great team that has paid off late in games this year has been San Francisco. And if you are at all a San Francisco fan or follow San Francisco, very, very strong bullpen, and they continue to hold teams off like the Dodgers recently and Padres and pretty much everybody in their league and that type of stuff. So 0-2 pitch coming from McGill, that's up and away. Something must have happened because they just locked it out. The last they were at was a plus 156 on the Mets side. Yankees are still a minus 135. There's 1 out with 2-2. And you still can't get the Yankees on a plus side down 2-0 in just the 3rd inning, where the Mets, just a good team playing a much lesser, playing just as bad a team, but the Marlins do have a little bit better pitching, so you could see them in that sense. So now it's a plus 146, minus 184, Mets and Marlins. Mariners are a minus 320. Rays are a plus 260. I mean, that might be something that you look into, but the Mariners just keep putting guys on base. As Waka is really struggling. He's had some great starts as of late, but nothing to really think that he's going to throw like this. And now they're getting somebody warmed up. Plus 260. You can get him at plus 2.5, which they're covering right now at a minus 113 is the Rays. Or you can actually get the Mariners at a minus 2.5 at a minus 120, which if you had them straight up like us, we had them on the plus side of things. So hopefully you subscribe to www.sporthotpicks.com, where we are able to get you our picks. You get them emailed to you every single day. You get every single paid pick. But on these broadcasts here, we are focusing just on the live betting action and also hedging the bets and those type of things. So you could actually win it both ways if you stick with us and follow what we are doing in all of our pre-game bets, and now with our live action that we're going to do every now and then to help you sports fanatics that are out there watching games be able to play some live betting stuff on. Again, if you got a question, go ahead, type it into the chat there. We'll put it into the board so that you could see what we've got saying. We'll drop it right in here, and we'll kind of go from there. www.sporthotpicks.com. $9.99 gets you every single one of our picks every single day of the week, 7 days a week. If we do not have a play, we will let you know why we don't have a play. We'll explain to you exactly what it is that we don't see and why you should be looking to stay away from it as well. We're a volume betting service, right? So you get some people, as now Mariners go up 4-0 over Tampa Bay. Anyway, value betting, which means we're going to give you between 3 to 7 picks per day. Sometimes we go to 9, sometimes we go down to 1 or 2, but on an average, we're right around 7 picks per day, which means you could compare them against what you're looking at doing, or you can also try to make it in a follow our system where you're betting every single one of those for 60%, which means we're making our clients money. And if you have followed us at all, we had shown you starting at a 3% of our bankroll wager with $330 bankroll. We've grown that through multiple different things. Number one, through our picks and winning over 60% every single month that we've been doing this. Number two, what we also have done is we have leveraged the promos from FanDuel, from BetMGM, from Caesars, William Hill, DraftKings, and I go on and on down the list where you get match bonuses, you get boost bonuses to parlays, which we don't like to recommend parlays. However, what you could do is if you put in a small bet of a parlay, they'll give you a free money bet back where you could use on your straight line bets. And you can keep it, build a bankroll by leveraging the book's money. Very good way to actually build a nice, strong bankroll like we have here at www.sporthotpicks.com. All right, so one last look at things before we get out of here. You can still get the Yankees finally at plus money through the top of the fourth. Yankees plus 104, and now the Mariners are going to score again. Now they're up 5-0 here in the third. So pretty crazy as we picked that game as an outright winner. If you're going to take the Mariners, you minus 4.5 at plus 104, which they're covering already, or minus 800. You can get the Rays at plus 4.5, plus 500 on the money line, plus 500 on the money line, plus 4.5, minus 142. Orioles just went up 3-0. It's on commercial, and that just goes to show you that how this works. But if you were following our bet, which I strongly recommended as a strong live play when the Mets were down 4-2, I said the Mets pick is our live pick of the day. And the next thing that happens is Pete Alonso just went yard to make it 4-3. If you had the Mets early at a plus 156, which we got it at, now the Mets are a minus 104 against the Marlins. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So no outs in the top of the third, live betting along with us here. Hopefully you learned a little bit about us and how we go about our live betting. This is Tommy School, www.sporthotpicks.com. Thank you all for tuning in, and we look forward to talking with you again tomorrow or in the near future. Have a great day, and we're making wagers, cash and major.